Entei Iron Valiant is a deck that initially caught steam in the Paradox Rift format, getting top 8 at a number of major events. And since then, the deck has fallen by the wayside. However, in the online tournament scene, there's been some activity here that's kind of gone under the radar, right? So, like, looking back, not a lot of people are playing the deck right now. Aaron Walker got 4th out of 58. Seth got 4th out of 75. And then Vic VDG in particular, 4th out of 75, 4th out of 83. And then in the Shrouded Fable format, so August onward, 2nd out of 116 and 4th out of 233 players with their Entei Iron Valiant list. Are we sleeping on this deck? I'm Jet from inthirdperson.com. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let's talk about Entei Valiant in the Shrouded Fable format. And I actually don't think there's much there's a couple of new cards since we last saw it, but it's not that much different than before. And we can talk about potentially why Entei Valiant is on the low, kind of doing some cool stuff right now. So Entei V, 230 HP, very thick for a basic V. It's got the ability fleet-footed. When it's in the active, you get to draw a card. And then Burning Rondo for a fire and a colorless does 20 damage, and this attack does 20 more damage for each benched Pokemon, yours and your opponent's. This normally caps out at 220 damage, but you can set up a whole bunch of other damage counters with Iron Valiant EX. Its Tachyon Bits ability lets you drop 2 damage counters to one of your opponent's Pokemon each time it moves into the active, and it's once per Iron Valiant. So if you've got 4 Iron Valiants on the board, that's a free 80 damage, and now Entei is swinging for 300. Now you're probably not going to get 4 Iron Valiants all at once, but you can do some serious damage early on, especially with the rise of Regidrago V-Star. If you go second, like, Regidrago always wants to go first, and it's not that hard to knock out a Regidrago with Entei and Iron Valiant pings. And there's some other decks as well where you can soften things up and then go in for the big swing with Entei, or just take incremental damage on smaller Pokemon like Gardevoir, for example, where they have to put on stuff like Bravery Charms and all that to get their attackers up. And then you just Iron Valiant ping them, knock them off the board, and potentially take multiple prizes. So some interesting lines of play with this deck. We've got 3 copies of Entei V, 2 or 4 copies of Iron Valiant. We're not attacking with this at all. We're only using it for Tachyon Bits. We've got a 2/2 line of Bidoof and Bibarel in the deck, where you can draw up to 5 cards. We've got 1 copy of Squawkabilly to discard our hand, draw 6 cards on the first turn. In particular, getting some fire energy into the discard piles so that you can Magma Basin and then attach energy to your Entei or your Moltres or your Radiant Charizard could be a nice play. In particular, Moltres or Entei as your turn 1 attack going second. We've also got 1 copy of Lumineon V. Luminous Sign, when you play it from your hand to the bench, you get to grab a supporter card of your choice and put it into your hand. Depending on what you're up against, you definitely want to go second. If you're up against the big basic, you'll want to start with Entei V, like attack. And then if you're up against a smaller Pokemon, Moltres is perfect. It's got an attack for 1 fire energy. Inferno Wings does 20 damage. Plus, if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 70 more damage. The attack's damage isn't affected by weakness. So you're hitting 90, which is enough to take out a lot of smaller stage 1 Pokemon. You know, get that Charmander off the board, stuff like that. Get that Ralts out of here, and so on. For trainer cards, we've got 4 copies of Switch Cart, and we've got 4 copies of Switch. We want to do a lot of dancing between Iron Valiants in and out of the active, also ending each turn with Entei or whatever attacker to attack. Switch Cart also has the benefit of healing 30 damage off the Pokemon moving to the bench, so really nice touch there. 2 copies of Future Booster Capsule so that your Iron Valiants can retreat for free. 4 copies of Carmine. This is a newer card to the deck. I mean, this came out in Twilight Masquerade, but this wasn't here in the early days, where you can discard your hand and draw 5, which is kind of a worse Professor's Research, but you get to do this on the first turn of the game as well. So the combination of Carmine plus Squawkabilly lets you dig really deep into your deck at the very first turn if you draw into Carmine in the first place. So really cool option here. 4 copies of Magma Basin to accelerate energy to your fire Pokemon. They take 2 damage, but that should be fine. Can potentially help you string together multiple consecutive attacks with Magma Basin in play. 1 copy of Scoop Up Cyclone, where you just get to put 1 of your Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand. In particular, this can help you with setting up extra Iron Valiant damage, where you Iron Valiant ping, and then you remove that Iron Valiant, and now you put it back on the board. Now it's a new Iron Valiant. You can ping again. So you can do stuff like that with the Scoop Up Cyclone. Really nice SR A spec. 1 copy of Force Seal Stone, slap that onto your Entei, and then grab any card of your choice from the deck as your V-Star power. 1 copy of Night Stretcher. This is the 1 new card from... what is this? From Shrouded Fable, where you can just grab a Pokemon or a basic energy from your discard pile into your hand. Really helpful for recovering your attackers or energy from the deck. In particular, towards the end game, you could have Radiant Charizard attack twice. Attack that gets knocked out, and then Night Stretcher it back into play and attack again. So we also got 1 copy of Pal Pad to get 2 supporters from our discard pile back into our deck, 3 copies of Nest Ball to get basics down, 3 copies of Boss's Orders to because they bench Pokemon into the active, 3 copies of Iono, where both players shuffle their hands, put it to the bottom of their deck, and then draw equal to the number of cards they have remaining. 2 copies of TM Devo. This is going to be great against... the big evolution decks, like your Charizards in particular, where they're using a lot of rare candy, and they are really, you pretty much aren't gonna, even with the Iron Valiant pings, you're probably not one-shotting a Charizard. But if you can set up enough damage across multiple targets, then Devolution them, and then either knock them out with that damage or just put them in an awkward position where they can't set back up. 4 copies of Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards, grab a Pokemon of your choice, and then we've got 4 copies of Basic Fire Energy and 4 copies of Jet Energy, where when you attach this to your bench Pokemon, you get to launch it into the active, giving you even more switch out options and also being able to power up Entei's attack. So your general game plan, you want to go second, burn through your deck really fast, get some damage in with Iron Valiant, ideally ping, Iron Valiant, and then take the appropriate KOs with either Entei or Moltres. You want to go fast. Ideally, you don't want the match to go long, and you can just like end the game in the first 2 turns. But you do have some options if it does stretch out longer. I think the deck is, I've always liked playing this deck. It's a lot of fun. The Switch cards can potentially clog up the deck, but I do love the Carmine edition here and the Night Stretcher as well. And again, shout outs to Vic. Is it Vic? Yeah, Vic VDG, who's been on the low, kind of putting in some work in the online tournament scene. So definitely a deck that is, doing some damage here and there. And let's actually take a look at the matchup spread. There's not a lot of data here, so I would want to see hundreds, if not thousands of matches played. And right now we just don't see a lot of matchup data. But Reggie Drago, we've got a winning record on, and I totally get that. They want to go first. You can go second. It's not that hard to get a KO on Reggie Drago V on the first turn, and that can be absolutely catastrophic for them. Or an Ogre, like pretty much anything on that deck, you can one-hit KO on the first turn. Gardevoir is even. I would suspect this is probably a little bit in Gardevoir's favor, but the Iron Valiant pings can really mess them up and either donk them out of the game early or take out their attackers and take extra prizes throughout. Dragapult currently even. I'm not sure if that's actually in Dragapult's or in Entei Valiant's favor. Not sure where that goes. This one surprises me. Reggie Drago Ogerpon for 10-2? Really? Y'all are blasting Raging Bolt Ogerpon that bad with this deck? I don't know. That feels kind of weird to me, but I mean, good for them so far. Not really sure what's in there. Lost Zone Box is a bad record, but not really. People aren't really playing that right now. Charizard Pidgeot's about even. Lugia's about even. I'm not sure that's actually even. Charizard Pidgeot can be kind of weird, but if you can get the jump on them, then you can close them out before they even start. Miraidon about even. So it's kind of tough to say. Like, there's not enough data here to make some assumptions about the matchup spread, but there are a couple of decks here that I'm looking at, like Reggie Drago in particular, of like, I can see a world where Entei Valiant can do a really good job at taking out Reggie Drago and kind of do okay against Gardevoir as well. This Raging Bolt Ogerpon, like if this is truly how that matchup spread is, that's absolutely fantastic. So full disclosure, I unfortunately am running out of time here on the stream. So we only got one match in, but it does showcase kind of Entei and Iron Valiant at their best. I hope you guys have a great time with this deck. And yeah, I'll see you on the other side of this match and we can talk a little more. Yeah, now we can squawk. This is a nice little setup we have here. Regidrago. Okay. Okay. Can we get the turn 1 donk on the Regidrago V? That's the $1 million. If we can do that, then we're laughing. Even a turn 1 on the Ogerpon would be fantastic. They probably go squawk here, right? You gotta go squawk. Kyurem. I don't think that would be the first attack. I mean, they have a Squawkabilly in hand, right? They must. That one card has to be Squawk. No? I mean, I have no idea how it... Okay. Teal Dance, the 1. Would have been kind of nice if they could bench the other ones, but hey. Is what it is. Ooh, 4 Seal Stone is very nice. Okay. Let's go and... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, I think we have to burn Fleet-Footed now. Carmine is good, but we don't... Actually, yeah, we'll... Let's soften this up. Does Carmine get us the desired result here? Carmine, then Squawk. Or do we just go... I think we Carmine... We Magma Basin. Are we one-hit KOing this thing at this point? Like, if we go... Yeah, hold on. 24... Yeah, so 60... Yeah, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 20, 40, 60. Yeah, we are getting the one-hit KO. How greedy are we feeling? I think we're feeling incredibly greedy right now. Let's go Squawk, and I pray I get an energy in the next cards, or else I will cry. Okay. Okay, cool. And we even get the switch out, too. Let's go and retreat. And we will get that turn 1 donk on Regidrago. This is looking terrible for our opponent. Boom. Love to see it. Love to see it. We take 1-shots on the Ogerpon. We take a 1-shot on the Mew. This is not necessarily the most solid strategy, but... And it does suck that the Inferno Wings does not count. It doesn't do it doesn't hit for weakness on Ogerpon. $36, $90, $120, $30, $80. Oh, they're going to knock us out. That sucks. But thankfully, as long as we don't get hand disrupted, we're fine. We can get another Entei, and we'll just blast this thing into oblivion. Although they also now have more time to get Regidrago set up, so that part kind of sucks. We can soften up the Regidrago a bunch, though. Yeah, we've got like a whole bunch of switch cards. We can make some stuff happen here. Yeah, 210. That's fine. Hopefully we can draw into... Oh, yeah. Okay. So we get ourselves the Entei V back. Drop 2. We need to soften up the... Soften up the Regidrago here. And I think we can go for one more Iron Valiant ping. Technically could go for more. I kind of don't want to right this second. Do we do it? No, I'm going to hold out. I'm going to hold out. Let's go Entei V. Bring that back in. Let's fleet-footed. Draw Lumineon. Not sure that gets us enough, but 360. We blast. Scoop Up Cyclone Jet Energy. Yeah, we should. As long as we don't get hand disrupted here, then we should have it. The Scoop Up Cyclone's actually kind of sick because it turns the... a used Iron Valiant into a new Iron Valiant, right? And hopefully they don't... Oh, yeah, we can just hit with Radzard if they don't bump the basin. And I don't think Regidrago really plays stadiums at this point. Raging Bolt. Okay. What's the play? What's the play? Yeah, maybe we... I'm not sure I'm going to be able to get a full... Like, with the timing now being what it is, I'm not sure I can get more matches with this, but this is kind of cool. Okay. Ooh. Oh, no, not the Noivern. The Noivern's actually annoying. If they can attack with the Noivern, they have E-Switch. Yeah, if they get the Noivern attack in, then we're kind of... We're kind of dead, right? They play Pokestop sometimes. Okay, let's see it. If we scoop up Cyclone... Oh, we could scoop up Cyclone Boss, right? If they're only going to hit for the... If they only use the Noivern right now, we scoop up Cyclone, like, one of our Pokemon. We play Lumineon, we get Boss, we boss up Ogerpon, and then we win. Wow, they're going all in on the Ogerpon strat. They have it. They have it. So what's the play? Are you going to knock out the Entei, or are you going to... As long as they don't hand disrupt us, I think we have them in checkmate. Please, just swing. Go in and swing. Go ahead. Noivern wall me. Knock me out. Yeah. We should have them. Especially since they filled up their bench. Kind of crazy. Welcome back, Gaming On Before. How you doing? They swing for 280. They throw 2 energy in the lost zone. Yeah, we cap out at 220, right? So, oh yeah, we can just also... We just have to put Radiant Charizard up. Radiant Charizard blows this up, 250. So, yeah, we'll... Let's go and retreat into... Yeah, we'll get the maximum damage here. Let's go Radzard. Actually, you know what? Iron Valiant's 2 retreat. Okay, I think that's fine, right? Let's hope I don't mess this up, right? No, you know what? Let's just... If we Scoop Up Cyclone and then Jet Energy, or we Jet Energy up and then Scoop Up Cyclone the Iron Valiant, then we should be fine. Yeah, we get the win. GG's. All right. I just wanted to showcase the potential for softening up the Regidrago there, but I know we were playing with our food, especially once we put the Charizard down. Yeah, unfortunately not going to be able to get much time with this deck, but Entei Valiant does have some interesting propositions here, especially in a Regidrago format where you can blast that Regidrago on turn 1, like going second, because Regidrago really wants to go first, and you could potentially punish that. I'm not sure what its matchup spread in the current format looks like after that, but yeah, like you're probably still gonna cook against Gardevoir. Not sure what the spread looks like otherwise, but it's cool to see Entei Valiant, at least, like, people still trying the deck and still finding some success with it. GG's. And there we go. That is a look at Entei Iron Valiant. On paper, I'm still not sure how this deck is doing as well as it is. Right now, there's just not enough people playing it and not enough people talking about it. But I see you. I see you, Vic. You're doing some pretty cool stuff with some really high placements in online tournaments. And I don't know if this video is going to be the deck the video is going to be the one to make this mainstream. I don't know if this is truly a mainstream deck, but like if you don't want to play the meta and you want to play something that actually has some options against the meta, Entei Iron Valiant could be the play. And maybe even some variant of this with Gouging Fire could be kind of cool as well, where you're doing potentially 260 damage on turn 1 going first, which is wild. But for now, I got to get going. Thank you so much for watching. You can find me on all the things: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram at In Third Person. You can find me on Twitch at In Third Person, where I stream the Pokemon trading card game every Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And check out the website, inthirdperson.com, for more articles and videos on video games, board games, and other nerdy pursuits. So until the next one, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.